How's it going, guys? Back again. It's Thursday, which has started to become the new Tuesday, but it's happening. Main thing is I set out to do something in the week and it happened. So what we're going to talk today about is milk. A lot of people have asked us, what's the difference? Almond milk, full fat milk, semi-skimmed, coconut milk, rice milk, soy milk. Did I miss one? I think that's the main offenders. What's the big difference? What's the best? What should I be drinking? Well, very much depends on what you want. But if we're talking about from a pure weight loss perspective, we can run through the calories real quick. The handiest one I found was for people for 8 fluid ounces of milk, which is about 230 millilitres. It was the nicest grid I got of the comparison, so that's what I'm going to use. If we're talking about 8 fluid ounces, which is like half a glass of milk, there is 150 calories in regular cow's milk. That's the heftiest of the calorie lot in them. And there's 8 grams of protein, which is nice. That's decent. So if you were to go down to a skim milk or an extra low fat milk, it's 80 calories, but with the same amount of protein. So straight away, if you were taking full fat milk in your coffee or full fat milk in your cereal every morning, going to skimmed milk or low fat milk is going to give you a big benefit. And there's nothing wrong with low fat milk or low fat dairy in particular, because all they've really done is dilute it and taken away certain components. It's a very good fit. If you want to keep a bit of milk in your diet, if you want to keep a milk in your tea, it can add up. And it sounds like a small thing, but if somebody's having 5 or 6 cups of tea a day, it is only marginal, but over time it does make a big difference to change that milk in your tea. It all clocks up and they all add up, just like savings. You know, you're saving those calories every time you have a cup of tea. So it's a very good idea to think about having a lower fat alternative or lower calorie alternative to your milk. Now, we often hear about other alternatives for milk, like almond and soy and rice and coconut. So the first one we'll kind of attack is the rice milk is about 120 calories for the same amount of milk. So it's a bit less than full fat milk, but it's still 50% more calories than low-fat milk. So if you're looking to lose weight, rice milk would not be a good choice. Okay? A good alternative, should I say. Now, the one thing we will say about rice milk, there's also no protein in it, which is a negative for it. The one thing we will say about rice milk, it seems to be the milk, I'll say milk in inverted commas, that has the least amount of allergies, or the least likelihood to be allergy. Like, there's no nuts in it, there's no nuts, dairy or soy or any of these things that people can be allergic to. So if you are lactose intolerant, rice milk could be a very good thing to choose. So that would be rice milk. Next down the scale we would talk about would be coconut milk, which is about 50 calories for a similar amount. Now, what I should say about these alternative milks I'm talking about, what is very important is I am talking about the unsweetened versions. You can add a ton of sugar to something and it don't add any fat, but it does add calories. So unsweetened coconut milk, again for that half glass we'll call it, is about 50 calories. So it's a third of full fat milk, and it's just over, we'll say it's around 2/3 of the skim milk. So good alternative. There's no protein in it, but still it would be a nice alternative. The next one, and I'm not going to lie, this surprised me a bit, I didn't know enough about it, was almond milk. Almond milk actually punches way above its weight. It is only 40 calories for the same quantity as the full fat milk, and it has 2 grams of protein. So almond milk is probably the winner in this particular race. If you're looking to lose weight and you still want to put milk in your coffee or in your cereal, if you want to still get a bit of a flavour if the coffee's too sharp for you or bitter, almond milk is definitely the front runner here. That's the one I would be suggesting from a pure weight loss perspective. Now, there's not much protein in it. It's only 2 grams. Dairy is definitely the way to go for protein. But almond milk seems to be a very, very good choice. And fair play to it. I didn't realize those little nuts could be. Even though a lot of people say ecologically it's not the best choice because the amount of milk to make the amount of water, to farm the almonds is quite a lot. but nonetheless, it's a good alternative. And the other one that we'll add in that people often talk about is soy milk. Soy milk has about 80 calories for that half glass and about 7 grams of protein, which is good. Soy, I'm not always nuts on myself. There's environmental concerns, but it's definitely at the halfway point. But soy milk is not really any better than a low-fat or a skim milk. It's about the same. So what's the idea we're talking about? Full-fat milk obviously has the most calories. Soy and low-fat milk have very similar calories. There's not really much between them. If you're talking about weight loss, you don't need to worry about getting the soy milk over the low-fat milk. It's about the same calories. Okay? Now, if you want to go further down the chain, alternatives then would be your coconut milk or your almond milk are definitely the lower of the lot. They're both under 50 calories for that half glass of milk. And the one I would leave on the outside, I really wouldn't choose it unless you have a specific reason, would be rice milk. Rice milk definitely has more calories than most of the other milks. The only milk that has more calories is full-fat dairy milk. So if there's a specific allergen reason that you need to get rice milk, of course, go ahead. But if you're changing from your full-fat milk to your rice milk with the idea that it's going to be better for weight loss, it's quite marginal. You would be a lot better off to get low-fat dairy. So if you're looking to cut a bit of weight, that's what I would say, is try low-fat milk. You can get it everywhere. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, it generally tastes pretty good. If you want an alternative or you don't want dairy but you still want a similar taste, soy milk can be a good one. The winner we would choose usually in here now that I've read about it would be almond milk is a very good choice. But just be careful with all these alternative milks to get the unsweetened one. It's very easy to pick up that carton and you think it's almond milk and it says sweetened, but it could have a ton of sugar in it. And that's not going to be great for the old calorie count. It's going to set you back where you are. And as regards the rice milk, I would generally not worry too much about that unless I have a specific reason. So I guess that was it. That was short and sweet. I genuinely thought that was going to take a lot longer. But there you go. That's a little bit about milk.